what is the relationship between the use of insulin in terms of creating fast twitch or low twitch muscle mass?
I don't know that answer. It's, once again, insulin is used to do three things. When you train, you deplete glycogen, which is basically glucose, or your primary energy source. You want to accelerate the healing of the tissue, which you bring amino acids or to accelerate protein synthesis. And then you want to resynthesize ATP. Those are the three purposes of using a special powder that I developed to be used in conjunction with insulin. And insulin actually acts as what they call a shuttle system, which transports these nutrients into the muscle compartment.
Okay. And did you have any conversation with Mr. Mosley about the fact that doing low repetitions at heavy weights would have the effect of creating slow twitch versus fast twitch?
I don't believe we discussed that issue, no.
Okay. Did you have any discussions with him about the relationship between weight training and the effect that the steroids would have upon him?
I don't know that we did. It just, whether he's doing his routine boxing and punching the bag, or if he's lifting weights, that exertion is creating micro tears and cuts in his muscle tissue, and it helps to heal and recover. So I don't know that we talked about specific training.
But punching the heavy bag or sparring would be more likely to create fast twitch muscles with the help of steroids, correct?
I would think so, because of the type of movement, yes.
Right. Whereas fewer repetitions of heavy weights would create slow twitch muscles.
No. Lots of repetitions of low weight.
That's what I meant. I apologize. Lots of repetitions.
More slow twitch, but I don't believe we had this fast twitch, slow twitch conversation at all.
Okay. Did you have conversations with him about the combination of weight training with the use of steroids in terms of making him more explosive in the ring, faster and more explosive in the ring?
Yes.
Okay. What was said about that?
That he may be able to throw, in a flurry of punches, more punches. Instead of throwing 2 or 3 or 4, that he may be able to throw 5 or 6. There would be strength gains involved. Strength gains involved from using as well as speed. Anabolic steroids definitely enhance speed as well as strength.
Okay. But with respect to the relationship between weight training and having those effects of being faster and more explosive, did you have any discussion on the connection?
We didn't talk about the specifics of the weight training program that he was on with Daryl.
Okay. Did Mr. Mosley ask you any questions about the use of steroids?
I explained the way these steroids worked. Yes, he did have questions, and many questions about the reason he would be taking him in a specific regimen, as I've described, that Monday clear, Tuesday green, Wednesday clear, Thursday, why he would be taking the EPO certain days. So he gained an understanding of the overall hand and glove effect of the drugs in conjunction with the various types of training that he did, both weight training as well as boxing training.
Well, what do you recall about that was said about the interaction between his use of the steroids and weight training?
That he would recover more quickly, would be less sore, that he would be more consistent in his ability to work out at a higher level of intensity for a longer period of time, and not have to take so many days in between sessions.
Did you have any discussions with him about whether or not the clear and the cream were illegal substances?
Testosterone is the...
Did you hear
That's
the
not my
question?
question.
The answer is yes, testosterone is illegal, and we talked about the fact that it's illegal.
What do you recall saying to him about the illegality of
Well,
testosterone?
I explained that it had epitestosterone, and most of the discussion had more to do with the fact that it was undetectable as opposed to that it was illegal. But testosterone's been illegal in every sport since the beginning of competition. So.
Did you say to him at any time, in words or substance, you understand, Mr. Mosley, that the use of the clear and the cream, well withdrawn, did you say to him in words or substance that the clear and the cream were illegal substances as we've defined that term?
Yes, I did tell him that testosterone and EPO and these drugs are illegal.
Okay. Do you recall what exact words you used?
I don't recall the exact words,
Okay.
but he certainly knew that it was an anabolic steroid.
Okay. Did you have any discussion with him about what drugs and were banned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission?
There was some question about EPO, not about the legality, because it's certainly illegal, but about whether or not that was one of the substances that was to be tested for.
And do you recall what was said about that?
I recall that Shane asked Darryl to check into that, to see if it was, because I wasn't familiar with the precise list of prohibited substances from boxing as opposed to other sports. But in general terms, what happens is with drugs like insulin and others that there are no tests for, and growth hormone, they're on the list, they're prohibited. You're not supposed to use them, they just don't have a test for them. So it's not a matter of it being, you're not going to get caught because there's no test, but it is illegal.
Did you ever review the rules of either the Nevada or California Athletic Commission to see whether or not EPO was banned?
I did not at that time, no.
Okay. Have you subsequently done it?
I did look at him briefly, and I don't recall if EPO was on the list. This was for another purpose, for an MMA fighter who's also subject to California Athletic.
Or in what fight? What fight?
An MMA, a multiple martial arts fighter. So I recently looked at it, but at that particular time and before that meeting with Shane, I had not looked at it, the list.
How recently was that with the MMA fighter?
Within the last 6 months.
Why were you checking whether or not the use of EPO was banned?
I was just looking at the list, not specifically for EPO, just seeing what was on the list.
Okay. And what regimen did you pursue? What's the name of this MMA fighter?
Daniel Puder.
Okay. How do you spell his last name?
Puder.
And which organization does he fight with?
I'm not sure.
Okay. UFC, do you know?
No, he's not a UFC.
You know if he's with Elite Pro?
No, he's not.